Good morning, girls. Today's we are starting our lecture Embedded Operating System, right? Till now we have finished two chapters. That is introductions to the embedded operating system, and then what are the embedded systems? What the hardware is required for the embedded system? Now, today we are going to start the new chapters that is under the unit third, unit second, that is kernel architecture and functions, right? In that kernel architecture and function, in that topic, we will cover the first topic, that is the architecture, kernel architecture and its advantage of that architecture and disadvantage of that architecture, right? The kernel has three architecture in general, right? Whether it is embedded operating system or whether it is general purpose operating system, it has three architecture. That is, first is monolithic kernels, microkernels and modular kernels. Now we will first understood what is a kernel architecture, right? Why it is called as the kernel architecture, right? Now, the kernel is the core of an operating system. It is a core part of an operating system, right? Our body is there, but our soul is the core part, right? So, the kernel is the core part of operating system. It is a software responsible for running. It is a software. Kernel is nothing. It is a hardware and all. It is a software program, and that program is responsible for running programs and providing secure access to the machine hardware, right? That program responsibility, kernel is nothing any hardware or something. It is a soul, it is a core of operating system, and that core, that program has a responsibility to run the program and provide secure access to the machine hardware, right? So the kernel has to manage the hardware also, and it provides the responsibility to run the applications program, right? On the most system, the kernel is one of the first program loaded on the startup, right? When you start the program, so it will loaded the kernel program first. Without that kernel, we cannot load our application, right? Whenever we start our computer, right, so it first loaded our operating system, and then we are opening our application program, right? Application program, now I am running a PowerPoint presentation. This MS Office is a application program, but whether I'm starting, when we start the laptop, so we first will we start with Microsoft Office, or will open the PowerPoint presentation? No, first it has to load the operating system, and then we open our application program. It is the upper layer of operating system, right? The same as on the most system, on the most means almost those are using a operating system, it will loaded first. The kernel is one of the program loaded on the startup, right? After bootloader, it handles the rest of the startup as well as memory, right? It startup and as well as memory. It handle the rest of the startup as well as the memory. Peripherals, input output request from the software and translating them into the data processing instructions for the central purpose unit, right? What it is, it will load first the kernel program, right? Then second, it handles the rest startup, right? It handle, this kernel program will handle the rest program as well as the memory, peripheral, input output and request from the software, translations them into the data processing instructions from the central processing unit, right? What is the objective of the kernel program, right? The first objective of the kernel program is to establish the communication between user level application and hardware. This is the first job of kernel program, right? It establish the communication between the user layer application and hardware, right? The second is to decide the status of incoming process, right? This is your second objectives, to decide the status of incoming process, how many process are coming into to execute into the CPU or to the controller or microcontroller, right? So it decides the status, whether it is waiting mode, whether it is ready mode, whether it is execution mode. So it decides the status incoming process, right? To control the disk management, right? Disk management means what? It is a memory disk control, right? To control the memory management, this is also one of the objective of kernel, and to control the task management, right? So all these objectives the kernel is performing, right? All these objectives the kernel is performing, right? Just मौसी आवाज थोड़ा कम करो. Now this is your where it is kernel forms, right? This is the applications layer. This kernel is interacting with CPU, memory, CPU and devices, and the application is interacting your kernel. So the kernel is the middle layer, right? Now the kernel has different type. Earlier when it is designed monolithic, micro and then modular kernels. So how it is implementing and what are the advantage and disadvantage of that kernel, we are going to see that, right? Now the type of kernel architecture is monolithic kernel, microkernel and modular kernel. There are three types of kernel, right? Now we have seen what is kernel exactly. Kernel is nothing any hardware, it is a software, it is a piece of program, right? Which run first when we start the computer, and it has a responsibility to manage the application program as well as the hardware, as we have seen, right? It manages the application program as well as the hardware. So the kernel is a middle layer between the application and the hardware, right? There are three types of kernel architecture: monolithic kernel, microkernel and modular kernel, right? Now what is a monolithic kernels, right? Monolithic kernel has all the operating system functions or services within a single kernel, right? So everything it is into the single kernel, all operations. There is no kind of the packages, whole the operation into the monolith. Whether that system is required that package or whether that system doesn't require, but still it is into the single kernel, and this single kernel will run as a single process in a single address space in memory, right? So the monolithic means it is a monotonous, it has to be taken all the packages into a single process. So what is monolithic kernel mean? Monolithic kernel has all the operating system function, all the function which is required, not required. Some of the application is required some function, some of the another application is required another function, but still it is the whole function or services within a single kernel, and this single kernel will run as a single process in a single address space in memory, right? Everything is single, that is the monolithic, it is not a multitasking, right? So the monolithic architecture enable the higher performance, however the less flexible for modifications to add the new features or enhance the existing features, right? So it was the disadvantage of that this monolithic, it is the monolithic architecture enables higher performance, it doesn't give the unable to give the higher performance, however it is less flexible because once it is into the combine or single kernels, we cannot add there whatever we require, we need to change whole the system. So the very less flexible modifications to add new features or enhance the existing features. Whatever the existing feature that we cannot enhance in a monolithic kernel architecture, right? Now this is the applications layer, right? Other operating system features rather than this, it is a user mode, right? Suppose I am a user and I need to develop something different, so in that operating system, so this is other user, this is a kernel mode. Inside that kernel mode everything is there: file system management, process management, memory management, IO management, concurrency management, device management, everything into this kernel single mode, right? And then the hardware is interfacing, right? So if anybody doesn't want this, the memory IO management, concurrency, but still it is into the single package, and it is very difficult to implement the things or enhance the new things inside that, right? So these are the disadvantage. But what is the advantage of that? Monolithic operating system kernel is faster due to a small sources and compiled code size, right? It is compiled code size, everything is there inside in one program, so it very easy. The pointer doesn't has to search where is another function or where is this function, everything is there inside one package, right? So that's why it is very fast due to a small source and compiled code size. Less code means also less bugs and security issue, because it is less code, it doesn't have here and there and pointer is coming from that function or packages or procedure, so everything is there into inline process. So that is due to that it is a faster in small sources and compile code size. Less code means also less bugs and security, right? Security issue, this is the advantage. But disadvantage is the size of kernel, which was hug, because everything it is into the one program, so the size of program is very hug. Poor maintainability, which means the bug fix or addition of new features, resulting in a recompilation of whole kernel, which could consume hours, right? If you add something new, so the whole kernel has to compile, right? So it takes hours and hours time, right? If you make any changes, so it is very poor to maintain a whole program at a time, right? In a modern day approach to monolithic architecture, the kernel consists of different modules and which can be dynamically load and upload, right? Nowadays, the modern approach, that is the modular kernel architecture, we are going to see the modular kernel architecture also. It is dynamically loaded and unloaded when it is required or when it is doesn't require, right? So it will save the memory space, it will save the time of kernel, so and your system will be a more and more faster. And if that modular module was to change something, so you can change, so you don't have to compile whole kernel, you have to just compile only that module. If you want to enhance the new features, so you can develop one module and attach that kernel. So all these are the flexibility to develop the operating system, right? Now the second kernel architecture is microkernel. The first architecture is the monolithic architecture. Now second is the micro architecture, right? Microkernel architecture. Microkernel architecture is an architecture with kernel having a basic interactions with the hardware and basic inter-process communication mechanism, right? It has a just basic, very small, very basic interactions with the hardware, and basic everything will manage into the user level, right? All other operating system services exist outside the kernel, everything is outside the kernel. No, only the kernel will boot, and then only minimum requirement of hardware is managed by kernel, and everything is given to the user level, right? Microkernel provides the flexibility to add the new features, right? It it provides the flexibility to add the new feature because everything is at the user level, or modify existing features while slightly affecting the performance, right? Slightly it will affect the performance as it is increase the amount of interaction between the kernel and user mode features, right? It is very much interaction between the kernel and user because kernel doesn't have anything. Kernel has only the basic interaction with the hardware and interface. Everything is user has to manage whole the hardware, right? So it is micro is just everything is given to the user control, not into the uh, kernel's control, right? But see the system, this is your kernel mode. The only basic feature, low level address space, low level process management, and inter process communication with the hardware, right? But all these things it skips into the user mode. Application IPs, device drive, process management, file services, input output management, memory management, everything it is into the user mode. If you want, you develop, or that will be the increase the user task, right? It is a tedious job to user because kernel doesn't give that facility to the user. When user want to develop any application, so in that application user has to develop, user has to manage all this code, IO code, memory management code, file code, process code, device code, IO code. Operating system doesn't give the features. Operating system is very very low level, right? Low level address space manage correct operating system, low level process manage, and inter communication. So it will be the overloaded to the users, right? So that is a disadvantage. But what is the advantage? We will see first. The services separations has the advantage of its one service called a service server, right? Fails other can still work, so reliable is the primary features, right? Other will so reliable is a primary. For example, if the device drive crash and does not cause the entire system cross, right? If device drive is crash here, so that this device drive will remove because it is into the user's level, so it will not affect the operating system, right? In monolithic, if the device driver is something is in this system, so your operating system totally it will corrupt. So that is the disadvantage in monolithic. But micro has the that option, your system will not be corrupted because it is just a very small part of portion it's into the kernel, right? Only that drive need to restart rather than having the entire system dead, right? Only drive has to restart, no entire system has to restart. This means more persistence as one server can be substituted with another, right? One server substituted can be substituted with another. It is also means that maintenance is very easy. It is very easy. Suppose if input output system manages, only that has to reloaded, and that is done by there. If any errors over there, the whole system should not be a reloaded, so it doesn't take that much time, hours and hours time, right? The different services are built into a special module and which can be loaded or uploaded when needed, right? If it is needed, only that module is loaded or unloaded, right? Patches can be tested separately than the swap to take over on the product instruction. It will take the patches wise testing, right? Not whole the things it's tested in one. Message pass allow independent communication, allow extensibility, right? It will pass the message. If any module is failure, that module is pass the message, right? Only we need to work on that module only. So the maintenance is very easy with, whereas in a monolithic, we need to search where is the problem. The whole system has to search, so it takes the time to search and find out the errors also. So maintenance is too difficult in a monolithic because it's very high, and it is very easy in a microkernel. The fact that there is no need to reboot the kernel impiles rapid test and development, because kernel doesn't have anything, so you don't have to reboot always. No need to reboot the kernel in a microme, and it is easy and faster integrations with the third party module, right? It is very easily interacting with the third party modules, right? That is the advantage of microkernel, right? But what is the disadvantage of microkernel, right? Memory footprint is large because everything is given to the user's hand, and then user has to write the code, so it's very difficult to manage the memory, right? So the memory footprint is large. Potential performance loss, more software interface due to the message passing, right? So it is always keeping track which is the fail and which is keep passing and all. So the potential performance is lost, right? It has to wait. The message passing bugs are not easy to fix, right? Message passing bugs in a microkernel, it's not easy to fix. And process management is complex because it is whole not on the kernel controls, it is whole control on the user control. So it is very difficult to the user level to manage the processor. So sometimes CPU may be empty, sometimes it is maybe overloaded, sometimes it maybe queue is too long. So the performance is automatically degraded due to the process management, right? So now the next part of that, the whatever the disadvantage in a monolithic kernel, whatever the disadvantage in a microcontroller kernels, so it is design a modular kernel, taking a best part of from the both, right? Modular architecture tries to get the best feature from both monolithic kernel as well as microkernel, right? So whatever the best feature in a monolithic, that is taken into the modular, whatever the best feature in a microkernels, so it is taken into the modular. Modular kernel aim to have an optimal performance and flexibility to modify upgrading the kernel services, right? Kernel is a program that gives the services to the user to develop their application, right? Simple example of the kernel. Kernel is a core architecture which gives the functionality to manage, to use the functionality to develop the user of applications program, right? So the modular kernel aim to have an optional performance and flexibility to modify and upgrade the kernel services, right? Now this is the modular. So the kernel modify only basic features, so device drive, low management process, low level process management, inter process communications. So this is given into the in modular kernel architecture, and some of the control is given which is required for the user mode, process management, file management, input output management, and the memory management. And that upper layer is the applications program, right? Applications software, right? This is the basic block diagram of your modular kernel architecture, right? Now, the modular approaches is derived from the best of both micro and monolithic kernel architecture. Instead of loading whole things into the memory, the core module are loaded dynamically to the memory demand, right? Instead of loading whole into the memory, the core module are loaded dynamically to the memory demand, right? How the memory is demand. And this modular approach allows easy extension of operating system, right? These modular approaches allow easy extension of operating system capability. Maintainability of kernel become very easy as only concern the module needed to be loaded, right? It is very easy because only module is loaded over there. So the maintainability is very easy and uploaded every time there is a change or bugs fix in a particular module, right? So whenever we uploaded the module into the kernel system, it will fix the bugs, right? So that the combinations of monolithic and microkernel. So there is no need to bring down and recompile the whole kernel for the smallest bit of change, right? In monolithic, we need to compile whole kernels, right? That is not approach in a modular architecture. Also, stripping of kernel for various performance, right? Say for embedded devices, right? Become very easy as we can easily upload the module that we do not want, right? Suppose we do not want any module to upload over there because our application doesn't require, so instead of that we cannot upload. So our kernel in our operating system, it doesn't have a that much load, right? These are, but one disadvantage is modular may be destabilize or running kernel. It is because we are changing the module from here to here. So only that is one disadvantage in a modular architecture. It is very destabilized because frequently it is changing running a kernel, right? It has to fix kernels, right? So now this lecture we have seen the what is a kernel. Kernel is nothing hardware, right? Kernel is just the piece of software, right? And it is booted while it performing the beginning, right? It gives the facility, it has a kernel program has a responsibility to provide the interface between the user applications and the hardware. Whenever user is developing the application, that user has to knowledge about the kernel, what kind of features I can extract from the kernels, right? Kernel program. So the kernel is one of the core part of the operating system, right? And the whole operating system is, it is managing the resource, it is managing, just like I'm installing the printer is also my the part of the operating system. But now that is not the core part of the kernel, because some of the system doesn't require the printer installation package, right? Some of the system doesn't require the speaker also, so it doesn't require, that is a upper layer. But every system requires the file management, process management, memory management. So these are the core part of the operating system, right? So this is the kernel. Kernel is nothing any hardware part, it is a piece of program, right? But it is a core piece of program which is mandatory and which is required for each and every system, right? There are three types of kernel as we have seen: monolithic kernel, microkernel, and modular kernel. Monolithic kernel, everything it is into the kernels, right? Suppose printer software is there to install the printer drive, that driver is also into the kernel. But some of the computer doesn't require, other computer requires. So why unnecessarily don't doesn't require, still they have to maintain that driver, right? So the instead of that, that is into the monolithic kernel. So it is very heavy loaded and it is very difficult to maintain the whole the code. If once it is changes anything, so the whole system has to be a reboot and uploaded. That is a disadvantage in a monolithical kernel, right? Micro, they very less amount of kernel they kept, everything is given to the user level. Again, that is a disadvantage of that. User has to develop and it is very difficult to manage the process management, because the process is very close to the hardware, right? So it's very difficult to manage the memories also. So again, that has the disadvantage, microkernel, right? So the both the features has extract, both the good features had extract into the modular kernel, and the modular kernel is nowadays everywhere it is using a modular kernel, right? Once it is changed the module, it will install there, so no need to reboot whole kernel system and all, right? So but it has a restabilize, because if we install anything, so that restabilize the things. So that is only for today's lecture. We have seen the kernel architectures and the types of kernel. Girls, thank you. If you have any questions, please ask me.